Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. It seems like it's time for another post-Destiny update MapleStory class tier list. This list is based on my very own opinion of every class, and I base my rankings on the class grinding, how they boss, how well they do, how much damage they do basically, and how difficult they are to play. So it's not based on any DPM list, just my own experience with playing all these classes. I made a similar video about a year ago and then my tier list looked like this, but things have changed significantly after the Destiny update. After the recent update, most classes are a lot closer to each other compared to before, so you'll see a lot more classes grouped together compared to before the Destiny update. Also, just to get this out of the way, with enough funding and time investment, every single class in MapleStory can be viable, even Phantom. So even if in my opinion a class isn't that high on the list, that doesn't mean the class is literally unplayable, and you should all definitely hate that class. Main whichever class you think you'll enjoy the most. That's the most important, that you enjoy it. The SS tier is for classes that are in my opinion completely overpowered and broken. Last time Kana was there. While the C tier classes are classes that I find have the worst mobbing, bossing, gameplay, or a combination of those. We're starting off with the Bishop. Last time this class was in the C rank due to their lack of damage, but after the Destiny update I have to completely change their ranking. Bishops are now solid S tier. With decent damage, they're still great supporters, and their bossing and mobbing has improved significantly with the Destiny update, especially after level 140. You'll spend most of your time solo grinding in this game, and that's where the biggest improvement happened in my opinion, so this class is very solid right now, definitely S tier worthy. The Fire Poison Mage also has a way better mobbing right now, and has the potential to do some serious damage to bosses. They lack safety and a bind, but with the Destiny update, the common 5th job bind skill was improved by a lot, making this a lot more viable to use on these type of classes. Combine this with better grinding and potentially being one of the strongest classes in the game after some funding, this class is also a solid S tier. Ice Lightning Mages were in my opinion already S tier last time thanks to their amazing mobbing, utility and decent bossing damage. The Destiny update buffs them even more and they're still very S tier worthy even after this update. They're still a very solid, well-rounded class. Paladin is no doubt, of course, the best class. They sleep through boss fights and have great mobbing even for a warrior. Their weakness was always their low damage, but the Destiny update changed this and now the damage is decent. Not the most amazing, but decent. Combined with their insane tankiness and supportive skills, this class is also a very easy S tier class now. Dark Knights have had a similar glow up. They were okay before the Destiny update, but after, their grinding and especially their bossing is a lot better. Their revived mechanic actually works very well now, and their bossing has been improved massively. Easy S tier class. No worries though, not all explorers are worthy of the S tier. Heroes, however, are still very worthy of it. Heroes always had terrible mobbing, but the damage was always pretty high. After the Destiny update, their mobbing is also very decent right now, and with their already high base damage and further improvements to their combo orbs, heroes are also a no-brainer S tier class in my book. Arc was one of the older OP classes in MapleStory. They didn't really get any change with the Destiny update and they won't get any new buffs in the future. But guess what? This class already was OP to begin with. Great mobility, great damage, and their design works well. This class was already and still is an S tier class. Alright, finally, we're done with the S tier classes because next is Thunderbreaker. This class was severely nerfed about a year ago, ruining how smooth the class played, but the Destiny update finally fixes this, giving this class a rank up, moving from the B rank, that's where it was last time, to the A rank in my opinion. Their grinding and bossing feels a lot better and a lot smoother now. Thunderbreakers are very spammy and their bossing isn't that amazing as they require more work to play, you know, you gotta press all those buttons really fast. So I won't put them in S tier, but this class is in a very decent spot right now. I made Shade, so I didn't forget about him. Shade's got some buffs with the Destiny update and some improvements like an up jump. Shades do require more funding to get going, but their mobbing and bossing is very simple. They have a ton of safety built in their skills, great mobbing, and they can provide valuable debuffs to boss fights. It's not a must main insane OP class, but a solid A tier class in my opinion. For mechanic, I'm having doubts. They have insane burst and their mobbing feels great when funded enough, plus decent mobility and great supportive skills. I'm going to put this class in B tier though, just because they're a bit too inconvenient and too weak without proper funding. Spamming missiles all the time is more annoying than fun in my opinion. Managing summons isn't that great, but it's not too bad either. I think if the missiles would have an auto mode and mechanic had a bit more base damage, this could have been an easy S tier class. Jet, huh? You know, I love playing Jets, they're very fun, they're super mobile. Jets are still decent to play, but they didn't get any changes with the Destiny update. So almost all other classes besides the already OP classes got stronger, while Jet was left behind. And Jet, in my opinion, was already not really like the strongest class out there before Destiny. Pretty weak actually. Jet suffers from not being balanced by the main balancing team, which makes it tricky to rank this class because it's usually behind the meta. I think Jets can mop and boss just fine, but the lack of care from the developers puts this class in C tier. Cannoneer got some nice buffs with the Destiny update to both their mobbing and bossing. They're so slow though when you create one, but over time, as more skills unlock that boost your attack speed, they feel pretty fun. They have a fun theme and are amazing mobbers. Their bossing isn't exceptional, but it's fine, it works. They also have great mobility and some supportive skills. This is also an SD class for me. I love coin capping on this class, it's so fun. Angelic Buster is one of the older Nova classes. Her bossing feels a lot less clunky after the Destiny update, and she got some minor but nice changes in this update as well. Her base stats are pretty high, but she isn't exceptional at anything in my opinion really. She's going to get a nice buff to her bossing skill in the future. I think it's still an A tier class though. You know, I have a bit of a weakness for wind archers. Their mobility, bossing and grinding is so much fun. Even though they don't really have a lot of burst damage, they are still capable of tackling bosses easily. Hurricane classes don't fare that well in MapleStory Global due to the attack speed cap being higher for us. So we get our balancing from MapleStory Korea, and because they only look at that region, this class might feel a bit underwhelming in our region. I think the class is still very solid, but they can't walk with their 4-job Hurricane skill Song of Heaven, which gives them, in my opinion, an unnecessary handicap compared to most archers. Still though, because they're really fun, really easy to boss with, I will give this class the A rank. But there are some improvements though that this class could use. Wild Hunters are also interesting. They will feel better a lot after a bit of funding. Their new mobbing attack that they got with the Destiny update does feel a bit whack to me. Man, I'm doubting again between A and B rank for this class. Like, the class doesn't really excel at anything. Grinding is okay, but there are plenty of other classes that are better at it. Bossing is okay, but again, there are other classes that are better at it. But I also cannot think of what I would really change for this class to make it better. Give it a bit more damage on its summons, I suppose. I think the lack of damage and the additional skills to manage when you're bossing, when you dismount your Jaguar, puts this class in B tier. Pathfinder, on the other hand, is okay, decent and potentially lazy mobbing, good mobility and a versatile skill set. They aren't exceptional bosses compared to some of the other classes, but are decent enough to warrant them a spot on the A tier list. Nothing crazy, just a solid class. Over the last year, Mercedes has gotten quite a few improvements. Mercedes is still squishy pre-level 200, and her damage feels pretty bad without a lot of Legion and Link skills. In my opinion, after spending some time on her past level 200, the class's damage is fine. Their burst is pretty nice, and they have a new invincibility frame after the Destiny update. But in my opinion, the way this class dishes out damage with their air combos is a bit too inconvenient. It takes a lot of practice to get good on this class. Once you master this class, I'm sure she's amazing to play, but I feel like there are some unnecessary hurdles with this class which make her drop to B tier. Like, if we could use Leaf Tornado without any height requirement, that would make this class a solid A tier for me, with a steeper learning curve. But grinding can get really frustrating because you're never high enough on this class. Kayn has gotten some nice damage buffs with the Destiny update. Previously, I ranked this class as an S tier, which I think a year later now was perhaps a bit too high. I think Kayn's mechanics of applying debuffs, moving into range to finish off the monster to pop their debuff stacks and then dash away works pretty well, and their mobility is fun thanks to their hookshot. This class did suffer from being a bit weaker. They've gotten some buffs with the recent update and will get more in the future. It's a fun class with a risky in and out playstyle, but it also has a little bit of safety. It's a solid A tier class for me now after Destiny. Zero also gives me doubts. I think their damage is fine. They have a ton of utility and additional binds, which is pretty cool in boss fights. Their comboing is fun, but takes some getting used to, and doesn't feel nice until you unlock the full combos. Their bossing requires some practice as well. Their grinding can be pretty crazy. Zeros can cover big parts of the map very fast thanks to their mobility. I don't think this class is weak, but their comboing does create a higher skill ceiling. This is not a class you just pick up, that's why I'm putting it in A tier and not an S tier. I myself have a weakness for Michiel. Whenever I log into this character for a video, I always catch myself having a good time, and then I log off and go play something else. Michiel is super tanky, is invincible more often than not, can support party members with shields and dishes out some okay damage. Their main mobbing attack doesn't have that much range though, and using the Royal Guard mechanic to block attacks takes a while to learn. It does make you invincible though, so there's that. I just wish this class had better mobbing and some better bossing, but I think with the upcoming Night of Sickness remaster later this year that might be happening. But for now I'm putting this class in B tier because of their general lack of damage and their counter gimmick. Kaiser is a class, that's a fact. This class I'm also conflicted about. Being transformed feels awesome and powerful, but not being transformed feels a bit I love their 5th job skills and I think their damage is okay. Nothing too amazing, but it's okay. I don't really like their maid bombing attack though, it feels kinda clunky and has a weird hitbox. I think their combo mechanic also doesn't work that well either, and their empowered basic attack feels like something that used to be important, but isn't really anymore. I hope Nexon gives Kai'S a bit of a makeover to make them just slightly better on all fronts and streamline the class instead of having a combo mechanic, an empowered auto attack and a transformation gauge. I'll put this class in B tier. Hayato also has a lot of stuff going. They're very mobile and their bossing requires some practice. Their grinding after 5th job is hilariously easy thanks to their skills that can clear out like large parts of the map. They have a lot of passive healing which makes surviving pretty easy as well, but they can feel weak without proper funding. Hayato has the same problem as Jet. This class wasn't super powerful before the Destiny update, and now with a lot of other classes getting more damage, this class was left behind with basically no changes. It's not a bad class and it can definitely hold its own, but all other classes got stronger while Hayato didn't. And Hayato wasn't even that strong to begin with. Also, with the uncertainty because they are balanced outside of the regular balancing teams, I will put this class in B tier. Hey, it's my old main Demon Slayer. Very solid class, high base damage, critical hits and everything, their mobbing and bossing attacks. They're very well rounded with decent mobbing and bossing, and they have plenty of utility as well. 3 invincibility frames, passive healing, a bind, you name it. Demon Slayers won't feel amazing until you get that Blue Blood hyper skill at level 140, but it's line story from there on out. A very solid class and definitely an easy S tier. Demon Avengers actually got some love from the developers. They can now actually deal some damage and mob a bit better as well, also bossing is a bit better. This class will even get some more buffs in the near future. I think their mobbing is still a bit inconvenient with their 3rd job skill, and you have to constantly summon those shields every few seconds. I really hope Nexon makes those shields pop out automatically when attacking sometimes, but for now they won't. But I do think the buffs that they have gotten are enough to carry this class from C tier to B tier. I still think their HP gimmick doesn't work that well, but it's actually manageable to play this class now thanks to the recent changes. Dawn Warriors are a fine class with great mobbing and a ton of lines as well. This class also did not get any damage improvements with the Destiny update, and their switching between their Sun and Moon stance is ping reliant and still will be after the rework later this year, making this class not playable for Maples with higher ping. Still, it's a very solid class when it actually is playable. They are great mobbers and decent bossers. I think this class is a solid A tier for me. Blaster is another class that suffers from its own mechanics. It's amazing to see skilled blasters boss and grind, but this class is a lot of effort to play. A bit too much effort for the reward for my taste. They can dish out plenty of damage and their mobbing was recently improved, but still this class is one of the most difficult classes to play and their damage isn't that rewarding that it justifies how difficult it is to actually play this class. There are other classes out there that can outdamage this class and have a much simpler playstyle. That's why I will put Blaster in the B tier. Adele also did not get any buffs after the Destiny update, but this class is still simple, strong, has safety and good mobility and is still an eye-catcher. A very powerful class, but not the absolute best anymore since the Explorers are pretty OP right now as well. Still a solid S tier for me. Aaron is also an easy S tier for me. Their mobbing, mobility, passive healing and generally higher base damage makes it a very easy class to pick up. Their combo mechanic works well and it's never a dull moment when grinding with this class. Their hitboxes are a bit small, but hey, you can't have it all. After the Destiny update, this class got improved even more and it's a super solid S tier class for me. Hwoyong is another one of those S tier classes. Great mobbing and bossing. You have to keep your rotation in mind and there are quite a few skills that you have to manage both during bossing and grinding. But I think this class looks very daunting and complex from the outside if you never played it, but actually it's a pretty straightforward class once you get to know him a little bit. Good damage on this class as well, even without a lot of funding. Kadena has a lot of potential and is similar to Ark in a few ways. She has great damage and decent mobbing and bossing, but getting the most out of her can be challenging with all the animation cancelling and damage boosting going on. She's a very solid class, but because of her more difficult playstyle without any massive payoff, I will just put her in A tier. Xenon is also an interesting class. I think its mobbing and bossing is fine, but nothing exceptional. I was kinda disappointed by their 5th job skills. This class just feels lackluster and clunky, except for their Hypergram Fusion field skill, that one is pretty nice. I think this class just doesn't stand out enough. I'll put it in B tier. It's a fine class, it's just nothing too exciting. Oh boy, here we go, Phantom. I think this class still lacks damage, and this stolen skill mechanic just doesn't work that well anymore in my opinion. It's even worse now after the Destiny update, with more attacks and skills being buffed by passives that Phantom cannot steal. They have amazing utility and their burst is okay, they can even provide some party buffs, but why be a second-rate explorer when you can just be the real thing? And they still need to have a lot more stats than most classes before they're able to dish out enough damage. If Nexon just lets Phantom steal Shadow Partner, everything would be so much better. But for now, this class requires a lot of funding to even start feeling nice, so into C tier you go. Nightwalkers are a very solid class, even though they still require jump attacking for the most damage output, for now at least, until their remaster later this year. Their mobbing will feel kinda similar to Night Lords until they get stronger, but they bring a lot of damage to the boss fights. After the Night of Sickness remastering, that's happening later this year, I will put this class in S tier, but for now, due to the jump attack inconvenience, it's a solid A tier class for me. Dual Bladers also got some nice improvements with the Destiny update. Their grinding still isn't amazing, but they learned quite a few low cooldown 5th job skills to help them mob better. I think they're a pretty well-rounded thief, and their additional IED on their attacks helps Maples without a lot of Legion and Link skills to boss a bit earlier. I think that's good enough for them to be S tier. Ilium is actually a very solid class that deals a lot of damage. You don't need a lot of stats to boss with this class, and he'll get even more buffs in the future. His playstyle though you either love or hate, and his damage reduction mechanic isn't that nice early on, which makes him actually quite squishy. But even though he isn't popular, he's still a very solid class. I'm putting him in A tier. Kinesis actually isn't too bad either. It's another class that you're really gonna like the playstyle, but he's very solid. I don't think he does anything exceptional, but he also doesn't have any clear weakness or things that I personally don't like about this class. That's why it's also an A tier for me. Luminous though is another solid class. His teleport got improved a lot with the Destiny update and his damage is pretty good. He has amazing mobbing and his bossing isn't too bad either. He's pretty well rounded and thanks to his improved teleport it doesn't make me feel like deleting the character every time I use it. I'm gonna put this class in S tier now. It's actually a very solid update for Luminous. Remember when Kanna was the only double S tier class last time? Good old times. Kanna lost her insane unbalanced advantage of having spawn boosters in her skills and she got weakened by a lot, while almost every other class got stronger. Kanna still has potential as a bossing mule due to her bind and domain supportive skill, but since 99% of the game is solo grinding and because her damage potential got lowered by a lot after level 200, I'm putting her in B tier. If she didn't have the best bind and supportive skill in the game, then this would have been an easy C tier for me. Next up is Evan. This class never really felt that nice for me to play after their remaster. Their damage isn't that amazing and they require a lot of work. Fusing their skills and constantly recalling Mir, they need more funding to feel nice, but can carry their own in boss fights. But it isn't the class you just pick up and run with. The damage is fine though, but still I'm putting this class in B tier because I think the mechanic just doesn't work that well. Blaze Deserts is another very unpopular class with a wacky playstyle. Thankfully for this class, I do kinda enjoy it. I would never main this class myself as they are pretty weak and it's too much work to keep spamming their skills. It's a solid B tier class for me. Beast Tamer has gotten a few improvements over the last few updates and after Destiny they are even a bit better now. But similar to Hayato, Kanna and Jet, you just never know what happens to this class with its wacky balancing. But this class, as it is right now, did get improved slightly, so I'm gonna put her in B tier. Battle Mages are also weaker than most, but have good supportive skills and they are decent grinders. They're very mobile and tanky, which makes them easy to pick up, but do require funding and thanks to their telecasting, their bossing wasn't working out for me personally. Hence I'm gonna put this class in B tier. It has been a while since we put anyone in S tier, so time for Night Lords to get back on the top where they belong. Insane burst, better mobbing after Destiny, and they have an additional dash now for even more safety. Their grinding won't feel that good until you have some more stats, but as a true and true burst class, this is acceptable. That's why this class is going to S tier for me. Shadowers also are a lot nicer now after the Destiny update. They're a bit more technical to boss with, but it's not rocket science or anything like that. They need a bit more funding for their grinding to really start feeling nice, but their new Cruel Stab skill is very solid for mobbing. Also an easy S tier class in my book. I recently leveled up a marksman again, and man, it's so much better to play this class now. Their mobbing got a massive boost, and they're pretty strong even without a lot of funding. This class bossing is very decent as well. This is another S tier class right now. The same goes for Seers. They're so much better now with their summons, those deal a lot more damage and their grinding by itself is super fun with your 5th job skills. Seers are a very solid class right now after the Destiny update, similar to Marksman, very improved by quite a bit, also another S tier class. The only remastered explorer that I wasn't that excited about was Bowmaster. While they got a very decent damage boost with the Destiny update, I'm still not hooked on their mobbing. Aerostream just isn't that nice as a mobbing skill and you have to place down your turret all the time as well. I just didn't like it at all. It's a very solid class, but you have to put up with their mobbing though, so I'm gonna put the Bowmaster in A tier. Bug Gang is back after the Destiny update, basically revamping the entire class. This class plays and feels a lot better now. Their bossing isn't crazy, but their extremely lazy grinding, where they just jump around with their 5th job skills on, definitely makes up for that. They have some quirks when they go bossing, but still this is an easy S tier class. Last time I put Lara in S tier, but now being older and a wiser Coppersan, I decided to put her instead in A tier. She's a very solid class, but isn't that strong. She's also very squishy early on. Lara did get some buffs with the Destiny update though, and she will get even more in the future, but for now I think A tier suits her well. And those were all classes ranked. Next time someone asks me which class I think is the best, I'll just send them this video. I'm pretty happy with the state of MapleStory balancing wise though, for most classes at least. At least there are no blatantly overpowered classes anymore. However, everything B tier and below needs to get some love from developers and from the balancing teams. And that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Jesus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Manchaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zeng, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal1Pun, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, 32655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Anarch, Galando Balavia, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Vegas, Swap to Bish, Road to level 235, Tudik Stat, Reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gabriel Eck, Pendro Benetti, Conrad Castalis, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on a Talkerbox, Muka 1017, BNB King, Scotty Fly Fast, Priscilla, Brandon Cam, Shake1, Vague Botnet, and Vecco. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe, and happy mapling!